Are we live? Oh, excuse me. We're live. What's going on, everybody? Maple Brewski back here. December 13th, Sunday. Got another beer here. I actually got two beers today because something happened to one that was supposed to be had down the line. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But today, December 13th of the 2020 beer advent calendar, we have Ripple Ale from Four Hands Brewing Company. These guys are out of St. Louis, Missouri. This is 5% alcohols by volume. Very cool white, blue, and orange looking can. I really do like that quite a bit. Yeah, 5% alcohols. No listed IBUs here. Again, on the very nice looking can. IBUs, we're coming in at unknown on the website and nothing on Untappd. So no IBUs listed. So I guess it's blind, blind guess. So with that said, let's crack this bad boy open. Got a beer 101 pint glass, a little bit of water in there. Just get that out and let's give it a pour. Let's see what we got. See, that's fairly white. Obviously, it's not. It's kind of yellowy, but it's quite a pale looking beer indeed. Nice bit of haze to it. You can see your fingers through it just a little bit, but there is a bit of haze. A nice white head on top as well. Pretty cool stuff. Let's dive in. On the nose, almost similar to like a wheat beer almost. Clovey. Yeah. Where am I going with this? Clovey, orange peel, coriander-esque notes out of here. Real citrusy indeed. Yeah, clovey, citrusy, coriander-esque notes on here. Pretty damn good aroma. Light, refreshing on the nose. Inside a little banana. A little bit of banana note going on too. Let's dive in. Oh yeah. Clove, orange peel, coriander stuff going on. Little bit of banana stuff going on in here. Pretty cool. It is a white ale, and it's a Belgian style white ale. Okay. Yeah, it's a wheat beer. That makes sense. Using white ale, and I'm thinking, it's more of like a wheat beer, and it is pretty good. Cheers, everybody. Let's keep on drinking. Damn, that is good. It's refreshing. Nice intensity of flavor, but it's not thick or heavy by any means. Some somewhat beers that I've had in the past, I think, can seem just a little heavy. This one really, really isn't. Ale with orange. Ooh, fancy. That is exceptionally smooth. It's a really good beer. Let's see what I have to say on the can. Four Hands Brewing, Ripple White Ale, ale with orange, 5% ABV, no IBUs, no description either, no ingredients. We do have pairings, which would be seafood and brunch, so fairly broad, but they got a crab, and for the brunch, looks like they got grapes, a croissant, and maybe a mimosa. I'm surprised they didn't put a can of beer there, because this would actually be a really good brunch beer with the big citrus forward sort of notes. On the bottom, we do have some sort of date code, 222455. So I'm not too sure what that means, but there is some sort of coding on here. Can definitely appreciate that. Over on the website, fourhandsbrewery.com, you go to the beer section, you scroll down a little bit, and you do find the Ripple White Ale. Description is our take on a traditional Belgian-style white ale. Ripple is brewed with a gorgeous portions of white wheat and Pilsner malt to create a smooth, refreshing, slightly hazy golden ale with bright, fruity aromas contributed by bitter and sweet orange peel and our Belgian yeast strain. 5% ABV. As for more detailed food pairings, we have mussels and fries, funky cheese, Belgian endive salad, and key lime pie. Not bad. I can definitely see key lime going on here. I'm not a mussels guy. Funky cheese. I think that might vary from person to person. No idea what endive salad is, but key lime pie, you can get down with that. Mm-hmm. Full bodied, but not heavy. Beautiful flavors, smooth with just the right amount of crispness to it. A fantastic freaking beer indeed. Finally, over on Untapped, Ripple White Ale has been given a 3.51 bottle caps out of 5 instead of 7, just over 7,600 ratings. God damn. God damn indeed. Just give me one quick second. I gotta pull some. There we go. We're all good. But yeah, how are your Sundays going? Mine was little hangoverish for better part of the day, and then I got back here from home. Had a good night last night. Played some poker. Honored my friend Richie. Played some chess. Had a few drinks. You know, he's part of the bubble. He's the only other person that I have over at the house. Andre also has usually just one friend come over the odd time, but you know, keep the bubble small. We're all good to go. But other than that, oh my god, I got home and it was a little after. It was like right after I had dinner or whatnot. I just started getting this headache that's just been fucking. It doesn't hurt. It's not painful or anything like other headaches. It's just like a. I think they call them tension headaches, where it just feels like a band around my head kind of thing. And it's so annoying. It's just like it's this constant like feeling like pressure or whatnot. So that's kind of bringing my energy levels a little lower, little less enthusiastic. But you know what? It happens sometimes. I hear it's stress related, and yeah, it's been a very stressful couple of weeks. I don't feel like I'm stressing out at the moment, but subconsciously, probably what's happening. Got tons of exams this week. Got tons of well, not tons of assignments, but I got 2 other assignments to do. So it's going to be a hell of a week. So I think I'm just psyching myself out a little bit. Obviously, I'll get through it. It's not tough stuff to get done. Anything, it just has to be done. I think from the pressures of last week, and then going into this week, it's just been it's been a roller coaster of emotions. It's been a hell of a ride. So hopefully by the end of it, I'll get 3 weeks off between now and or between the end of this week and the start of second semester. So at least then I'll have a little bit of time to reset, relax, and get back into better shape, with no stress, or at least a lot less amount of stress. So it happens from time to time. I think everybody can understand that. But goddamn, this headache is being son of a bitch right now. Yeah, no, pretty easy day. Didn't do too much. Kind of just watch Netflix, pack stuff up. Didn't do too much. Didn't really do any studying yet. Just I didn't have my notes, and now I'm just like I'm too tired to. My head hurts. I don't want to stress it out even more. So studying will happen tomorrow. I do have an exam tomorrow, but it shouldn't be too difficult kind of thing. It's just all on taste, like beer tastings and recipes and whatnot. So I think it's multiple choice and some short answers, but there's two exams, which are separated. We'll only get like a certain amount of time to do both of them. I think we get about 2.5 or 3 hours to get them both done. So I'm kind of nervous to see how that plays out. Just because of timing and whatnot. You'd think you'd get certain blocks of time per exam, but Apparently not. So it's up to us as individuals to actually remember. Once you're done one, you submit that, and then you have to go and find the second one and do it and submit it. So I find the system pretty stupid. But then again, that's how it is, and I'll just have to, bite that bullet and get it done. Also have course selection tomorrow, which is not too bad, because all of our courses are just already preset for us, but we do have to pick an elective. And I was looking through the list. I know one that I want to take. I only need to choose one, but it's the history of organized crime, which I think would be fucking badass. I think that would be a really interesting topic to do for a semester. So, knock on wood, I get that. I get it. It's available. It hasn't filled up yet. Because going into this semester, we still have to do an elective. I picked current events, but that day I decided to sleep in. I think I slept until about 11 or 12, and I went to go pick, and a lot of stuff was gone, but thankfully current events wasn't. So current events was a pretty good class, actually. It was really informative, but really easy to do because it was a lot of opinion-based stuff in some aspects. We had a lot of discussion boards and whatnot, and just quick, easy summaries of news articles from marks, a couple PowerPoint presentations and such, and then just talked about what's going on in the world. Talked about a lot of left versus right, all sort of the political spectrum in general. Did a week on the U.S. election because the election fell in this semester, so it worked out. We talked a lot about COVID and whatnot, Indigenous rights, BLM, all that jazz or whatever. So it was pretty cool, but it was online. It was asynchronous, so we just did it when we had the chance to, which was I really kind of prefer it that way. I got to get at it when I had time. So if the topic or whatever wasn't as heavy, I didn't need to focus on it. I could catch up on it later down the road. And a lot of people I don't think really like the asynchronous because it's so disconnected. And I get that for some courses where you would need, proper instruction like microbiome, maybe some other things. But so if the subject matter at hand is a lot heavier, more detailed, a little bit more confusing, obviously it would be better as a synchronous sort of thing if we can't do in person, so like live streams, stuff and things like that, rather than just a pre-recorded video on the topic at hand. But for some stuff you don't really need to be lab. Like current events, that's pretty straightforward. It's what's happening now, and then you break it down yourself, kind of thing, and form your own opinions. So I get that, but interesting stuff. Interesting beer too, funny enough. Not a lot of head on it now, but damn, it is delicious. It is quite a delicious treat. Really love the orange in here, the coriander, a little bit of cloves, touch of banana flavors going on as well. Fan-freaking-tastic. At 5 ABV, you can definitely crush a few of these without getting belligerently drunk if you lose count a little bit. So I kind of do like it in that aspect. I just got to figure out what the next beer was. I know it's in the fridge, but I don't remember which one it was. Oh, I see it. It was for Thursday. I goofed. We'll get to that. Like that said, choosing this final sip, I'm going to rate this thing and move on to the next beer. Ripple White Ale from Four Hands Brewing Company out of St. Louis, Missouri. What was the price for this beer anyway? Do they have a store? They do. Now, how much is the beer? We do not know. No, it looks like they don't do beer sales. Excuse me. Yeah. I do not see beer sales on their online store. Okay. They do have some pretty other cool beers too. Not too shabby. Overall, a solid beer. Great flavors on here. Coriander, orange peels, clove, little banana-esque-ness going on. A solid beer. Nice mouthfeel to it. Not too heavy, not too light. Smooth, just with a touch of crispness on here. Great stuff overall. Solid 8.4 out of 10 for me. As for presentation, I do really like the can design. It looks pretty snazzy, but not a lot of information. No description, no IPUs, but you do have pictures of food pairings, or at least ideas, seafood and brunch, and there is some sort of date code on the bottom. Can't read it, can't decipher it, but hey, at least there's something. Give me a second. I'm going to go rinse this out, and we'll grab that next beer. And I'll tell you why we're having it now and not on Thursday. Alrighty, so the beer in question is in a bag, and it's in a bag because I goofed when I was trying to get it out of the advent calendar box. And I goofed because when it was sitting in there, I took my my multi-tool and to use the pliers to actually pull it out because I couldn't get a grip. And what ended up happening a little was it sort of punctured where the top portion is, where this portion here sits on top. I kind of broke the seam a little bit because when I was taking a picture of it just to make sure what day it was, I felt beer on my hands. And I'm like, why is there beer on my hand? Did one of these cans burst? And apparently it did. Thankfully, it wasn't like it was my fault, and it wasn't opened or punctured or compromised before me and my MacGyverness. So it's good that that was the reason, and not like something that it wasn't defective from the beginning. So I learned my lesson. It's a very, very small little, I guess, pinhole almost, but I'm not gonna let it sit out because you know what? I don't want to risk it where it just loses all of its carbonation or just spills everywhere or something. So we're gonna have it now. So Thursday may not have a live stream. We may do one though, just for shits and giggles. But we have introducing Martha, the sexy blonde. This is from what beer company? Who? Holy shit, that's boozy. Martha, sexy blonde beer from the Kingdom of Belgium. Where are they from? The Brew Society. The Brew Society. Let me bring up the website. The Brew Society. No, that's not the brewery. Who brews this? thebrewsociety.be. Okay, maybe it is. Yeah. Okay, never mind. We're good. I'm just confused. I am 18 and older. Yes, I am. Martha, sexy blonde. Belgian brew factory. That's where it's from. We're at the Brew Society. Let's go to the brewery. No, I want to see products. Products range. Martha. More about Martha. So we got to go to marthabeer.com. I want English because I do not understand Danish. Right? Yep, that's it. And looks like we got Martha. Looks like it's its own sort of entity under the Brew Society. This is we'll get to that in just a little bit. We are looking at a Belgian blonde ale. Very beautiful can design. Got a little texture to it too. Pretty cool stuff. This is coming in at 8% alcohols by volume, so quite high in the ABV department for beers. IBUs on here, we have 30 IBUs. The headache's going away a little bit. I can really, whoa, that's nice. Let's crack this bad boy open. Let's see what we got. I'm getting a little bit more energy. Okay, so beer's not totally compromised. The can is compromised under my doing, so whoopsies. Oopsie poopsie. Let's pour it up. Probably could have saved it, but I really didn't want to take that risk. And it's a 330 ml can, again, even a little smaller than the short boys already, right? Yeah, it's just slightly, ever so slightly shorter. But hey, that's fine. 8% ABV, 30 IBUs, Belgian Blondie. Let's go. Very clear, looking like a solid blonde beer indeed. If you walk past this, you probably wouldn't even know it's not a lager, but it kind of looks like one, which is kind of funny. Check the nose. Excuse me. On the nose, very, very faint aroma. Maybe it's because I'm coming from, Ripple, which had a very large aroma, but quite a faint aroma. A little bit of caramel, a little bit of corn, not DMS. Let's give it a swirl. Let's open it up. Yeah, extremely faint aroma. I can smell stuff. I can taste stuff. But yeah, very, very faint. Yeah, even from the can itself. Very faint aroma of caramel, a little bit of corn. Slightly fruity. Don't know what kind of fruit per se. I can't really pick it out, but it just has a general fruity aroma. But yeah, very, very light. Let's dive in. As for flavor, sugar water, light caramel, little corniness, light breadiness. There's not much going on in the flavor department of this beer. Except booziness. Yeah. It's similar to sugar water, maybe a little bit of caramel, some graininess to it, slight breadiness note to a white breadiness note to it in the back, and then boozy, sweet booziness to it. Not a very, diverse or complex, flavor profile, but extremely clean. A little syrupy almost. But I'm really not a fan of that. It's cloyingly sweet, and then you get that alcohol bit, flavor, and it's not enjoyable. It's really not that enjoyable. Yeah. This is just like boozy sugar water. Interesting stuff. Let's see what the can has to say. So we got introducing Martha the Sexy Blonde, European Beer Challenge, double gold in 2019. That's pretty good. On the back, Martha who? Almost a century ago, Martha was born in a quaint little town in Belgium called the Hulul. Martha loved Hulul, its cobbled streets, its picturesque squares, and the beautiful meadows and creeks that surround it. She loved her birthplace so much that she developed 3 unique beers for it, reflecting her character, her passion in life, and the way she looked. The blonde ale symbolizes her crazy, wild, and happy nature. Using her original recipe, Martha's beer is still being brewed here in Hulul with respect for the traditions, the history, and the witful character of our beloved village. Let's toast to Martha with love. What's in here? We have water, hops. There we go. Barley malt, hops and yeast. Yep. Serving temperature 6 to 8 degrees Celsius. Brew Society. Follow her at hashtag Martha Beer. On the bottom, we do have a date code. Best before the 27th of July 2021. So this will stick around for a little bit, which is really, really nice. Pretty cool stuff. So we go over to the website. First one is brewsociety.be. You scroll down a little bit and under product range, you do have Discover Martha Beer. This is Martha Beer. Sorry, not Martha Beer. Martha was born in 1920s in Hulul, a small picturesque village in Belgium. Excuse me. Loving beer as she was, she developed a unique premium recipe for her favorite brews. Today, her savoir-faire and tradition are still very topical in her memory. Not only was she loved by everyone, but she was sexy, crazy, happy, wild, busy, and rough. Let us toast Martha in love. So we got 3 beers here. We got the Sexy Blonde that I'm currently enjoying. We do have a Guilty Pleasure and browniness. Brown eyes. Right? Brown eyes? Yes, brown eyes. So we got the blonde. Guilty Pleasure is a red. And then brown eyes is a strong dark. Damn. Yeah. Guilty Pleasure is 8%. Strong dark is 12%. So a lot of booze in these beers. Then again, they are from Belgium, so I would not, expect anything less. So you go to Discover Martha and it shoots over to marthabeer.com /NL/home. And you go to the Our Beer section because that's where you find information. Martha's Sexy Blonde is a strong blonde beer, top fermentation, with secondary fermentation in the bottle. Contains carefully selected ingredients such as high-quality malted barley and 3 types of aromatic hops from Belgium. A straw yellow beer with notes of white, dried fruit, and cloves. Sweet onset that is embraced by the alcohol present. A beer with a full flavor, a refined aroma that turns into a slightly bitter aftertaste. So that's more of a complex thing that I'm actually getting. I guess I can kind of see the white dried fruit and cloves. I think that's where I was attributing it to be boozy. It is boozy. I'm not a huge fan of the beer, to be honest. It's just a little too sweet for me. And you're getting that booziness, and it's a little cloying in my opinion. So I'm sorry, Martha. I don't mean to offend, but that's just how I'm experiencing it. Again, 8% ABV, 30 EBUs. So I don't remember if that directly translates into IBUs, but good to know. 7 on the EBC color range, not SRM. Serving temperature again, 6 to 8 degrees Celsius, and shelf life is 2 years. Excuse me. So if that's the case, and here the shelf life is going up to 2021. This was brewed back in 2019. So it's already a year old. I'm guessing, I don't know for sure because there is no canned on date, but that just seems to be what it is, just deducing, math and stuff and things. The red's also good for 2 years, and the brown is good for 3. The extra dark, sorry. Pretty cool stuff. It's an interesting beer. I can see a lot of people enjoying it, but I'm just sadly just not one of them. I wish I was, because it is a good beer. I'm not saying it's a bad beer. It's really good flavor profile. It's just not for me. Over on Untapped, Martha's Sexy Blonde has begun a 3.45 bottle caps out of 5, and that's out of just under 6,000 ratings. Not bad. Not bad indeed. Like I said, not a big fan of blonde ales, and I guess it even translates over into Belgian blonde ale. It's just not my forte. I don't know what it is, because blonde ales are kind of like the lager of ales in a sense, which I don't know if that's how I'm sort of interpreting them as. They're very clean, crisp, Not overly, complex flavor profiles or anything, but just a solid, simple style of beer, which is like a really good blank canvas for if you want to throw stuff in, like Brock Street Strawberry Blonde. Rouge River did their Pegasus. I think it was Hazy Blonde, which was by far one of my favorites. Those two, the Strawberry Blonde and the Pegasus, are definitely my top two favorite blonde ales. So interesting stuff. But yeah, definitely more of a slow sipper. You don't want to be drinking this one too fast because it is 8%. Yes, it's a much smaller can when you think about it. Some bottles of wine are 8% on the lower end of the ABV, so it's like half a bottle of wine. So you have to remember those things. Well, it's a little less than half a bottle of wine, but still, 8%, 330. That's still a good bit of good bit of alcohol. So, I think with that said, guys, I think I'm gonna go take off. I'm gonna go figure out this this headache thing, get that situated. Excuse me, just a little bit lower energy because of the day-to-day between a little bit of a hangover, the drive, and now this stupid fucking headache. But hey, overall for this beer, before I leave you, I gotta rate it. It's an interesting beer flavor, interesting beer style, but for this Belgian blonde, at least for me, it's a little too sweet, which makes it a little bit more not as enjoyable to drink. So overall, I'm giving it probably like a 6 out of 10 for me. Just not my thing. Can design on here is very clean. A little bit of graphics here and there, but nothing too crazy. You do get a beautiful description, ingredients, serving temperature, ABV, and a best before date on the bottom, so that's great. Getting to the website itself, we're trying to find it. It's a little confusing, but not too bad. It's pretty straightforward. And for the main website, you got a beautiful description, ABV, EBUs, which is the equivalent to IBU, so bitterness. You got your color, and EBC is not SRM, but still you get the color, you get a serving temp, and you get a shelf life. So great stuff indeed. Presentation. Presentation gets a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Yep, I think that's it for me, guys. I'm going to go relax for the rest of the night. Whew. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your nights as well. And with that said, that's going to do it for me, Mate Bruce. Like I always say, crack beer and enjoy. Cheers. I'll see you guys tomorrow.